Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am Daniel Rodriguez aka Big D88091 and welcome to my Watch Dogs review. Watch Dogs. Everyone remembers that E3 demo that left an impression on all of us. And then the game released and well, it's not as bad as I thought it would be, but it's also not as good as it could have been. In Watch Dogs you play Aiden Pierce, a hacker, and long story short, his niece dies when it should have been him. And he becomes a murderer, and people die, revenge story. Now time for the pros, cons, and final score. Starting off with the pros, the game takes place in Chicago. Now, I've never been to Chicago, and after playing this game, it makes me want to avoid Chicago at all costs. So with that, the map itself is a good size. Different areas and environments. Some beautiful, some really beautiful, and then buildings. And I mean tons of buildings, coffee shops, hipsters, things that Ubisoft loves. The main headquarters in the game where Aiden plans his dirty work was really cool. It's on its own little island and you have to use a rotating bridge to get to it. Makes me feel like goddamn Batman. There are some interesting side characters in here. T-Bone and Clara, or Clara if you will, being my favorite. And throughout the entire game, decent to really good voice acting. Aiden is a badass, let's get that straight. But his personality, okay, also it's badass. His attitude, the guy's boring. There's no life to him. Literally sounds like Cole from the first Infamous. He's just lifeless. And not really a very good guy. But again, his style, his outfit, you can customize his style. And I had some fun with that. It's always the little things. Now, Watch Dogs has basic gameplay. Combat is nothing too out of the norm. I do like the gun selection and stealth mechanics. You can slow down time sometimes while in combat, making headshots feel a little bit more rewarding. And some of the stealth melee takedown feels really good. That's why most of the time I found myself being more stealthy than going full Rambo on these hipsters' asses. Now, at first I wasn't a big fan of the driving mechanics. Everything was slow and clunky, but then it started picking up with better, faster cars throughout the world of Chicago. And last but not least, for the pros, you could hack in this game. Yeah, in case you didn't know, you can hack almost anything electronic. Almost. Some restrictions. Ubisoft don't want you to have that much fun. This can get really tedious, or it can be really fun. You can mess around with the civilians and be a naughty Aiden, or be a loser and never hack unless asked to. Come on, still some of that single mother's money. She don't need it. Heard the strip club pays well in Chicago. Now on to the cons, my favorite part of any review. Like I mentioned earlier, Aiden's boring. Badass, but boring. I get it. That's the way he's supposed to be, okay? He's still boring though. Next, the main enemy of this game is not only ugly, but as boring as Aiden himself. This guy's name is Damian Brinks? I don't know. During this game, I've experienced some frame rate droppings during combat and driving. Sometimes I've run into good enemy AI, and then bad enemy AI. Mostly more the bad. The worst type of hacking in here is the connecting the dot style puzzles. When you're on a time limit, this gets repetitive super quick. And last but not least, on the con side, most of the side activities or little side missions that Ubisoft puts in here. I didn't try all of them, just very few. It never interested me that much. And even with the online hacking component of other players attacking you, there's certain activities where Aiden's on drugs and Ubisoft with drugs. Stop. I'm tired of it in Far Cry, and I'm tired of it in anything else you do. So please stop, and you better not touch the next Splinter Cell with any acid trips that Sam Fisher takes while being on a stealth mission. So please, do yourself a favor, Ubisoft. I love you. I buy a lot of your games. Stop with the drugs. Overall, Watch Dogs is okay. I bought it for around $10, and that sounds about right. After beating the main story, I do have some interest in playing some of the DLC, but other than that, I don't plan on visiting the world and completing every single little activity. But that's me. It can be different for anyone else. I was entertained time to time with some story missions and interactions in this world, but other than that, it's not as bad as some people make it out to be. It's playable. I'm gonna give Watch Dogs a 7.4 out of a 10, which equals a C+. Thanks everyone for watching. If you enjoyed this review, let me know and tell me what you guys thought about Watch Dogs. Do you agree? Do you disagree with me? Tell me down below. Until next time, if you enjoyed this review, hit the like button, comment, and subscribe for more future game reviews and so on. Thanks again. Bye-bye.